Now that was God.
Have you ever been stranded on the highway, your vehicle disabled, not knowing what to do, and your family was in the vehicle with you? This is Christie's story, from Texas.
A few years ago, my family and I were traveling the United States in a 1994 37-foot Fleetwood Bounder. It was our home, my husband, myself, our 3 daughters, and a cat. And I remember the morning so clearly. We had just left San Antonio, Texas. We had left an auto repair shop getting our brakes and brake lines fixed. And we were headed to spend a few days in Dallas, Fort Worth. And as we got a later start than usual because we were at the repair shop that morning, but we hummed along that 8 or 10 lane highway right outside of Dallas, probably 20 minutes from our destination. And I remember looking at Matt's face just to make sure he was okay as he was driving. And I saw this pure look of concern wash over his face. And I looked at him and I said, "Did we lose our brakes again?" He said, "No, I have brakes. I just don't have any gears." And with that, we quickly found a way to get off of the highway and onto the shoulder of the road. And my heart sunk because I just knew that we lost our transmission in our RV and what at that time was our home. It was about 10 o'clock at night. And I started to think, here we are stranded in the middle of Dallas, Texas with no car, all these kids, a cat, a transmission that's probably gone, and we confirmed that was the problem. It's 10 o'clock at night. What are we going to do? And then God reminded me that just a couple weeks earlier when we were planning our route, we were going to leave San Antonio and go through Big Bend National Park. And I just had a gut feeling that we shouldn't do that. And thank goodness we didn't do that, because had we went to Big Bend National Park, our RV would have never made the hills of that park. We would have lost our transmission in that park. And who knows if we would have had cell phone signal, access to help would have been so much harder to get than right along the highway in Dallas. And so that was God. The other thing that quickly started happening as we tried to figure out solutions and what to do is I ended up having long distance relatives that lived just about 45 minutes outside of Dallas where we broke down. And they were so generous to come and pick us up and allow us, our kids, our cat, to stay in their house for a few days while our RV got fixed. Now that was God. We could have broke down anywhere else in the United States and maybe not had any help. We had no vehicle or anything. The other thing that happened was we bought Good Sam towing coverage when we started RVing. We paid some minimal amount, like $89 a year. We ended up being towed in our 18 months of travel 5 or 6 times. And that one $89 investment saved us thousands of dollars in tows. It allowed us to get towed to a Walmart parking lot at 10 o'clock at night and then to get towed again the next morning to the repair shop. Now that was God. God's provision in our travels, I could continue and tell you story after story, but there were so many now that was God moments where he showed up and we knew that he saw the bigger picture and he was always there even when we didn't know what was coming and we didn't know how to fix it.
Now that was God.
God showed up for Christie and her family. They didn't know what to do at first, but God showed them the way, and they listened. Remember, in a crisis, keep calm and listen for God's direction. He is there with you and will guide you.
The Lord says, "I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over you." Psalm 32, verse 8.
There is no one holy like the Lord. There is no one besides you. There is no rock like our God. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 2.
Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 41, verse 10. No matter what lies ahead, God is faithful.
We welcome and appreciate your God story, and would love to share with others. Send it to nowthatwasgod@gmail.com. Join us in glorifying God for his amazing love.
Don't forget to click on the logo button below to subscribe to this channel.